Welcome back to One Man and 5 Acres. I'm Trent. Today we're in the shop. We're working on the wife's van. We're going to put rear brakes on it. I've kind of already started on it. Did an inspection. The wife was driving it and then I drove it. And I was like, there's a noise. And she's like, well, I ain't hear nothing. So, yeah, there's a noise. And so I took the back brakes apart. And yeah, it wasn't good at all. So I'll show you what we got. So as you can tell, there's no pad left, just the metal plate that holds the pad on. it is gone. So we got it all apart. Went to Napa, got some parts, and cleaned all this up fairly good. I mean, it's not real good, but it's good enough. Just kind of scuff it, get some of the rust off of there a little bit. And everything, and I put anti-seize around here. So when I stick that that rotor back on, it hopefully it doesn't freeze up so bad. Because when I took it off, it was froze on there pretty good. I had to smack it off there with a hammer. So we got that off of there. I checked the wheel bearing, see how well it moves. Check it, see if the bearing or anything like that's bad. It's real nice and smooth in there still, so that's a good thing. I don't have to worry about replacing the hub bearing. Hub bearing's in good shape. This hub bearing has about, I think the car's got like 97,000 miles on it. We haven't hit 100,000 yet. But no, this bearing still feels just as good as it was if it was brand new. There's no crunchy or anything. I don't feel anything in it. So feels nice and tight, feels good. So we'll leave that alone, and we'll go ahead and start putting these brakes and stuff back together, and we'll get the other side taken apart and show you how these ones here come apart. These pistons here are the screw ratchet type, so you kind of got to put a special tool in there, puts pressure in there, it turns them at the same time, and depresses the piston back in. So I'll show you how all that works. And getting those back in, you got to turn them and press them at the same time, and then they go back into the piston will actually push back inside to the brake caliper itself. These are also where the e-brake is also part of this here as well. So none of this needs adjusted or anything like that. It's all in pretty good shape. So, but anyhow, let's get started. So, I got these rotors here from Napa. These particular rotors, I had to go back again. This was my second trip. My first trip, the rotors were wrong, and they weren't the right ones for this vehicle. They were too small. This vehicle here, when the aftermarket looks this vehicle up, it comes up as it comes up that it won't take how should I put it? It doesn't have the information that they have is not the same as what you could do it at the dealer, which we all know that dealers have a different system and everything. And basically what I'm saying is they'll ask you if you have standard brakes or heavy duty. And mine are heavy duty, but when they sit there and say they're heavy duty, it's supposed to have, in their system on the aftermarket side, it says that it's supposed to have a dual piston brake caliper. Mine has a single. So, and I couldn't remember the reason mine having heavy duty brakes on it. But I remember I called a buddy of mine that works at the dealership at Dodge, and he works in the parts, and he looked mine up by VIN. Mine does take the heavy duty, but it does not have dual pistons on the rear. But it has the bigger rotors on it. So with that being said, I had to take the other ones back because they were about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch too small. So these ones here look correct. They're nice and big. So, and also the pads were too small, and I had to get another set of pads as well. And he had to search for these pads, and he finally found them. So not all Chryslers, when you go to a aftermarket or O'Reilly's, AutoZone, or whatever, if it comes up that it has heavy duty, it doesn't always have dual rear brake calipers. It'll have a single. So mine has a single, but it's not in their system. Everyone that I've went to, they always say, well, it has to have a dual in order for it to be heavy duty. The aftermarket is wrong. So if you run into that problem, take your VIN to your local dealer, and they can run it, and they can figure out exactly what you got. That's what I had to do. So anyhow, let's get these all back together. All right. There we go. All right. Now, I always take, you guys don't have to do this. This is something that I do. I don't know if this will go all the way on there or not. Sometimes I'll put these all the way on and kind of help hold the, I think it's going to bottom out on me. Nope, there we go. To help hold the rotor in place, just so it doesn't really move around a whole lot. And then, but anyhow, this is what I do, is I'll put this on there to kind of help hold it, so when I put everything back on, it doesn't move around on me. It just makes the job a little easier. All right, so with every rotor and brake caliper, there's a caliper bracket, which is this right here. They have these little plastic clips in here. When you go to do a brake job, replace these. Don't reuse them. You can reuse them, but don't do it. They've got a lot of miles on them, and they wear out. So what I do is I take these off, and I throw these away, because I got new ones with the kit. So I pop all these off and get them out of here and get them out of the way. And then what I do is I take a wire brush and I clean these up in here where they're rusted, and then I put another new set of these back on this. That way they sit down in here in the surface a lot better, and it allows the pads to slide back and forth when you're braking and letting off the brake. It allows it to kind of move back and forth a little bit. So that's what you want. And also you want to check these slides here, to make sure they're in good shape. If they're not, you can take these apart and put lubricants and stuff in them and free them back up. I've had a few times where these right here will freeze up, and this what causes the brake pads not to wear evenly. So you always want to make sure that these right here move nice and good and they're free, and stuff like that. If they don't, then you'll have to get them apart. A lot of times you got to heat them up with a propane torch or something like that, get them nice and hot, and you'll have to put something on them and get them to move, and then twist them out and pull them out of there. And then I usually take a drill bit, and I'll run down inside here. Here, I'll pull this one apart so you guys can kind of see what it is, because I know some people they understand how to do brakes. Some people don't. So it comes out just like that. You pull it apart. This one's got a lot of grease on it. I will put more grease on there, but it'll freeze up inside here and it won't move freely like this one here does. And then you just push it back, and then the little rubber goes back in the groove. And it's basically a dust cover to keep dirt out of it. And you just clean these up and re-lube them. If they're froze, I get a drill bit that's the same size, and I kind of run the drill bit in there, kind of loosen it up a little bit and get some of the crud out of it, spray some brake clean inside there, clean it out, put a lot of lube in there, clean this pin off, and then put it back together. It'll work good as new. It'll save you a lot of money on calipers, and you don't have to buy them all the time. A little bit of cleaning, good to go. All right, wire brush, Arbor Freight. They're real cheap, couple bucks for like a small package of like 3, I think is what it was. It's not very much, but yeah, you just get in here and use this and just kind of scrub, and you can see how it kind of cleans it up a little bit. Nothing major, pretty easy. That's all you got to do to just clean them up, get the dirt and dust out of there, and a little bit of the rust that gets kind of built up in there. Just clean them up a little bit. That's all you got to do. All right, we're gonna reinstall this after I've cleaned it up a little bit. These, I believe, are 18 millimeter bolt, and this here goes on the back side of this one. Not too sure why it's on there or why they use it, but they got it in there, so we'll put it back. Usually tie this thing up out of the way, but it doesn't give you a lot of room. And you just get these snugged up with your fingers, which is what I'm doing right now. You know, this is an 18 millimeter ratchet wrench from Matco Tools. Had these for a long time. Never had any of them break yet. Well, can't say that. I have broke a couple and tore the guts out of them, but I was doing some stupid stuff. So they worked, but I did a little too much to them, and well, I tore them up. Make sure they're tight. Yeah, they're tight. It's not going nowhere. Nice and tight as you can get them. Ain't gonna hurt them. And now I'll get the tool to push this back in. Here's this kit. This is what we use. This goes on the rotor. It turns at the same time. And these right here got these little pins here, and on the piston, it's got 2 little slots that these are fit in, and then this turns, and then as this turns, it's universal too. Some of them got bigger and smaller slots in the piston, but this right here basically goes on the end of here. This turns and puts pressure on it at the same time as you turn this right here to keep it tight, and it all turns everything, and it presses the piston back in. This is a Matco toolkit, and it's a universal right there, universal disc brake caliper tool is what it is. So the kit came with all that, but I bought an extra one because this in here is a little bit different, does different size. This in here works for all the other ones, but I had to buy this in here separate, and I believe the one that I bought separate, this in here does Chrysler's. So that's what I'll be using today. As far as the part of what it's called, it has fallen off. I've had it for years, so I can't tell you what the actual tool number is from Matco, but I don't even know if it's even on here anymore. I don't think it is. It's pretty worn off. Yeah, I don't even have anything on here. Can't see nothing. So, but yeah, it's a little rusty. It's been sitting in my box, and I get a lot of moisture in here. And so now my tools are starting to rust up a little bit. I need to, wait a minute, there's a number. Let's see if we can see what that is. Now, that's just a patent number, But hey, you might be able to look that up, just by the patent number, and get the right tool. So, but you can see that, make that out. That's what it is. But anyhow, I need to get some oil on some of this stuff that's starting to rust up in here due to the moisture in my building. I have no heat in here, so it gets kind of chilly. I do have a small heater way over there that runs off of propane. It just takes the chill off in here, but that's about it. So, but yeah. All right, let's get started. All right, so I went ahead and stuck the tool in there. As you can tell, right here, this is in there, and there's the pins right here, and the pin is up here on the other side of the piston. Kind of move it around here so you can kind of see what we're doing. You can see the pin right there, and then the tool comes out here like this. You tighten this up and it gets it up against the inside where the pad sits, just like that. And it'll turn it and press it at the same time. And I'll show you how that process works. All right, so it's a 14 millimeter here wrench, and then I use adjustable wrench right here on this part here. And basically, you just kind of turn this and keep this tight at the same time, and then turn this at the same time, and then you got to catch it up a little bit, press it in, turn it, press, turn this at the same time. As you can tell, I stop with the 14 there a little bit, then I turn it a little bit, and then I catch it up just like that, and then I'll turn it a little bit more, and it's a constant. Keep pressure on it by turning this here, and you turn it some more, keep pressure the whole time. Get it caught up a little bit, but you want to keep pressure on this. As soon as it stops, then you stop turning it, and then you turn it again, and you just keep doing it until it bottoms out. It'll bottom out just like that, and it stopped turning it. So I need to loosen it up just like that, and then kind of turn it to get to set it just where I want to set it at, which is right there, just like so. And then you take this and then you undo this, and the whole thing comes out of there, and it's all pressed back in where it needs to be. It bottomed out and everything. That's how you do these. That's how you do these type right here. It's kind of like a ratcheting piston. It turns on the inside and shoves out at the same time. So that's how you do these type of brake calipers. So you can also, you don't have to have this fancy tool right here. I've seen guys use channel locks and do it and push it with a pair of vice grips. I don't recommend that. You can tear them up. Or you can get just this and put it on an extension, 3/8 extension, turn it and push it at the same time with a C-clamp or something like that. That's a little bit better than, the other way. Or you can turn it and push, push into it, and it'll go in, but it's a lot harder to do. It's much easier just having this tool. Makes it a lot faster, simpler, and as you can tell, it didn't take no time at all to do it, because that was in real time right there. That did not take long at all. All right, now here's these little tabs here and everything that get put in here. So there's you can't put them this way. They can only go on one way. And just push them in with your thumb, like so. There we go. There's one. Just push them in there. They're kind of hard, so if your fingers are not tough, you will it'll let you know it. Don't tell me I grabbed all the. Yeah, I did. Anyway, that's fine. Go back and grab the other side. So there's two different sides to this on here. And you gotta, these things can be a bear sometimes to get in there. There it goes. Here it goes. And but if your fingers are not used to doing this type of stuff, it will tear your finger up. Just saying. Here we go. Getting the push down in there can be like I said, it can be a bear. Even for me, they are kind of a pain in the butt. Sometimes you got to tap them with a small little hammer too. You can't get carried away, but that's how they push in. They just push in like that, and then when you're done, then you're done with them. All right, hopefully you guys can see this. You come in at an angle like this, give it a shove, put your thumb there, your palm, and then just push it in. There you go, just like that. And then you repeat the process on the back side as well. So that's just, you basically do the same thing, come in here and you fold it in there just like you would, like I just did this one. I think it's in there. There it goes. Yeah, just fold it in there. And it goes in. Now we just gotta, I don't know if these turn to, can't really remember. We'll figure it out here in a second. So then you just grab this here, and it slides just like that, right back on there. And then you put these bolts back in, and they're 13 millimeter wrench. That's what they are. Get them started by hand. There we go. See if I can keep him from moving around without having to put the other wrench on it. There we go. Give him a nice little snug. It's almost there. There we go. And give it another little snug. Give it a good pull. Just like that. Make sure they're nice and tight. Good to go. This side is done. Good deal. All right. Yep. All right. Now we'll move on to the other side, take it apart. It's basically how I just did this here. So that's pretty much that. It's how you do brakes. I will show you how I take the other side apart. I have a feeling that side might actually have a bad slide on the caliper, but we'll find out here soon. And yeah, so we'll move over to the other side and we'll go from there. All right, as you can tell, this one here is really rusted. As you can tell, it's got a nice rust ring on it. The pad is not hitting exactly the way it should. I have a feeling it's not hitting as good on the other side either. I think it's probably going to be worse than this side here. So, because the other side was horrible. But I got pad on both of these, so it's not worn out. So we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping that these slides are not, but I have a feeling I have a slide that's locked up. All right, 13 millimeter. Yeah, it's turning, so that means that's a kind of a good thing. See if I can hold it. Yeah, I can. All right, let's get this other one loosened up. Boy, she's tight. Somebody put these on there really tight. Couldn't imagine who did that. All right. She loosened up. Yep, she loosened up. There it goes. All right. These bolts go into the slides. That's what holds everything together with the caliper. There we go. Those are actually held in there with a little bit of thread lock. I noticed they have a little thread lock with them. All right, so it should just pop right off of there. Should. Might have to take a pry bar to it. We'll see here in a minute. Nope, there it goes. There we go. It's off of there. Let's check this slide here. See how it's moving. Ooh, it's not moving. It is, but it isn't. Not like that one. That one, not so much. All right, so I'll have to fix this one. Get these off of there. Yeah, she was not far for her life there, I tell you. It was just about done. I'm going to have to use something to pry that off of there. Be right back with the tool. All right. Use this pry bar here. See if I can't get it out of there. That thing is in there. Yeah, buddy, she's in there. In there good. There we go. Got her to move some. There we go. Shouldn't be that hard to come out of there. See how much pad's left on that one? That's got a lot on it. This thing here froze up for a while. So we'll get this brake caliper bracket out of the way. And then we will see if we can't free it up. Yeah, a couple whacks with the hammer. It builds up right around here, and that's what kind of holds it. Trying to get it to clean up. Come on, baby. There we go. And just like I thought, it is horrible. That pad wasn't hitting nothing on the backside of this. Yeah, it's kind of like the same way the other one was. Alright. I'll take a whiz wheel and we'll clean all this here up. Clean this up here, and we'll put anti-seize on all this. All right, now the object using the whiz wheel is not to make it completely clean, because you're not going to get it completely cleaned off. Now, most mechanics that do this stuff for a living, they're going to do exactly what I just did. They're going to scuff it and get the majority of the rust off of it the best they can. And they're not going to waste a whole lot of time with it, but they are going to try to get as much of this off as they can quickly. And then a good mechanic should take some anti-seize and go right around here, just like this, like what I'm doing here. Because this keeps the rotor from freezing back on there, and they don't have to smack it. Now this right here was the original rotor on this car. It has never been off. As you can tell, there's some spots where it's perfectly still machined. So what I'm going to do is this surface where it's sticking at, which is around this area right here, this is where it does it the most. We're going to put anti-seize in here, and we're going to keep this from doing this again. So whenever I go to do this again, if by chance I have to do it again, which I probably should, as long as the vehicle lasts that long, it doesn't get wrecked, smashed, or whatever, I can take this and hopefully just take a rubber mallet and just smack it and it come right off instead of sticking like it was. So we're going to put a little bit on here like this. Just kind of smear it around. And that's good enough. All right, so we're going to take this part over here on my toolbox. And yeah, I'm not using the top of my toolbox because my top of my toolbox has got tools all over it. It is a mess. So we're going to pop these off. I need a screwdriver because, well, that one's stuck. There we go. And then get these off of here. Like so. There we go. There's two off of there. Get two more off of here. Yeah, we're going to get these off here, and then we're going to see if we can't get these out. Now, I had previously on this vehicle, I have, I'll just tell you flat out, I pad slapped this the last time. Rotors were in pretty good shape at the time I did it. And this one here was acting up at the time, and this was froze up. Well, it has froze up again, and I don't know why it froze up again, but we're going to find out why, and I'm pretty sure it's because it's getting water inside of it, and we're going to have to get it apart. And I may have to heat this up. It feels like the rubber itself is what's sticking. So if that's the case, I think I have a small box of rubbers that go on the end of this push pin, and I think I can probably just put a new one on there, and it'll be just as good as new as it ever was. All right, I got it off. As you can tell, the rubber is gone, and that was what was holding it in there, was that rubber piece. But I got it out of there. It was not easy. Kind of boogered it up a little bit right there, but not too bad. I had to put it in the vise, and I had to pound on it right here to get it to slide out of there. Really didn't show that. I was getting aggravated, and nobody wants to hear that, so we didn't film that. But I got it off of there. They are not fun to get off when they are froze, but you can get them off. You just got to use a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. And yes, I had to walk away from it. So here we are with the product of it being out. However, there's nothing wrong with this. I'll take it over to my grinder, and I've got a wire wheel brush on that, and we will clean all this rust off of here, make it nice and shiny again, and then I believe I have a new rubber piece to go here. So I think I do. I'm not 100% sure. If I don't, it's not a big deal. It doesn't really need to be there. I would highly recommend getting a new one of these. They do sell these. If this is too loose in there, I will go and get another one and put it on there. I highly recommend not doing this if it's not the right one, which I probably will go and buy another one anyway. They're not that much, and that's probably what I'll do anyhow. So if this doesn't clean up and if I don't have the little rubbers, however, I think they sell them at Advanced. So Advanced Auto Parts or O'Reilly's, any of them will have this. And they'll have the little rubber boots too. So, but I'll clean this all up, and if it cleans up good and I have another rubber piece, then I'll reuse this one. If not, then I will buy a new slide pin for it. All right, we got new pins, got new rubbers. Now all I got to do is just clean this hole out right here. I went and picked some parts up at O'Reilly's and got the stuff that I needed. I didn't even mess with that pin. I just said, you know what, it's lasted its last time, so throw that away. We'll put some new pins in this thing and call it right. So you could do it. I didn't like it. It's going on my wife's car, like I said. I still wouldn't do it on a customer's car, but if it was me driving it, not my kids and my wife, I'd probably just go with it. But it's not, so we're going to fix it right. So anyhow, get this all together, and I'll clean this out real quick. That won't be nothing but just, matter of fact, I'm just going to take a drill and put a drill bit in here, and it'll just clean the garbage out of it, and put some more grease in it, and it's good to go. So we're going to ream it out with a drill bit, get all the crap out of it, just like that. There it goes. Slides in and out of there real good. I'll just put oil in there and grease, well, not oil, but grease in there, and it'll be good to go. All right, so as you can tell here, I got everything done. Got the new slides in there. They work, move around, nice and free. Now all I got to do is put it back in. I went ahead and put these on, the hardware, put the hardware on. Kind of lost track of what I was trying to say. Anyhow, put the hardware back on, got those on there. I just went ahead and kind of put it on now, got it out of the way instead of putting it on the car. It's a little easier to do it this way, but you can do it. I just wanted to show you both ways, but pretty simple, just pushing down on there. You can take a screwdriver, put them in the corners here, and kind of tap them with your hand, the palm of your hand, and it pushes them in there a little easier. So there's that way you can do it. And it came with new bolts to bolt it in to the caliper. I'm not going to use these. The original ones are still in really good shape, so I'll save these for something else if I need to. Other than that, everything else is going pretty good. Everything looks good here. Should be good to go. All right, quick recap. This goes on here, just like that. Stick the bolts in the back side. Just like this. Screw them in there. Wrong way. There we go. Now we got it. This, I don't know what this little bracket really, what this little bracket is even for. I don't know where it serves a purpose, but it's on there, so we put it back on. But I don't see the purpose of it, so I don't know. But this little bracket right here goes on there for some reason, so we'll put it back on. I don't see what it does, but some engineer said it needed it, so I guess that's what it needs. So I guess we'll put it back on. All right, we got the pads in there. We just slid them in there. Got them in there. They're nice and in there. Good to go. Now I just got to get this right here pressed in and then slap it on there, and we're done with this side. All right, got the tool installed. Just put on there. All right, let's get this started going in. Turn that in there. Might be able to get it with my fingers. It doesn't happen very often. There it goes. Go until she bottoms out, and I think she just bottomed out. Yep, she bottomed out. All right, now all we gotta do is just loosen it up. There we go. I'll get it all bolted on there and she'll be good to go. All right, everything's back together. Got the tires on and everything else. Back brakes are all on there. Tires are mounted back on. Everything's spinning good, looks good. So now, once you got your back brakes done, make sure before you start the car, you pump your brakes up. Because if not, you will not have any brakes if you put this thing in forward motion or reverse, because there's no tension back here on these brakes. So you have to pump them up so that the pads will clamp onto it, so when you hit the brakes again, when you start it up, you have brakes there. If not, this thing will keep on rolling on you. Make sure you pump the brakes after you do every brake job. Every time. Trust me. Y'all need to do it. All right, get my readers off. Can't see anything close with them on. But anyhow, this is not done yet. I still got to do the oil change on it. Most people know how to change oil. They just take it and get it done. I'm gonna change oil on this thing. It's not quite done yet, but as soon as I get that done, then it's done. Top off fluids if it needs it, and give it back to the wife so she can go wear something else out on it. Anyhow, if you like these videos, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, leave a comment. Love to hear from you. We'll talk to you all later. Bye.